Analyzing a writer's claims, evidence, and reasoning will help you to build understanding of what strong claims look like. This will be important for your own writing in the culminating writing task and the extension task research essay. When you're annotating for analyzing claims, be sure to write the claim in the margin. Remember, we used insert and comment. Label the claim with a C and the number. And remember that any phrases, sentences, paragraphs that support the claim will be put in brackets and labeled with an SC and the number. Yesterday, we focused on point of view. You can use the highlighting and the analyzing language handout to help you identify important claims in the text. This is the same process we used to determine and analyze the claims in Sherman Alexi's The Joy of Reading and Writing, Superman and Me. Read the text evidence on the slide and think in response to the following question. What claim is the author conveying through this evidence? So now you're going to write the claim in the margin using insert and comment and label it C1. Then you're going to circle the text evidence that supports this claim. Hint, it's the text evidence on the screen, and label it SC1. Now I want you to look and follow the directions for the rest of the passage and find 2 more claims in the text with their supporting evidence and label them appropriately. Now remember that strong readers do not automatically assume that an author's claims in an informational text are true. They consider whether or not the author has presented a claim that is well supported with reasoning and evidence. Now I want you to take out the Analyzing and Assessing Claims handout and review the SOTA strategy for assessing claims. SOTA allows you to assess claims. The S refers to whether the claim is specific. O refers to whether the claim is original. D refers to whether the claim is defensible. And A refers to whether the claim is arguable. Now, when we're talking about whether a claim is specific, we're looking for specific claims having strong verbs and clear details based on the text. For originality, we're looking for claims that may have never been used before or heard of before, ones that make you pause and think, and ones that are not cliches or overused. If a claim is defensible, it can be supported by multiple pieces of evidence from the text. If the claim is arguable, there is another side to the claim and someone could argue against it. You also want a claim to be valid. In other words, the logic that the author uses to show how the evidence is connected to the claims seems to work and make sense. You want to make sure that there is not any false reasoning, because you want to make sure that the author or speaker uses reasoning that is valid and makes an argument that sounds good and is logical. So now we're going to look at the first claim and determine if it meets the SOTA criteria. Our first claim that we created or found was one that was not explicitly stated in the text. And that claim is freedom of thought spurred the desire for freedom from slavery. And I would say that yes, this claim is very specific. Yes, it is original. Yes, it is defensible. We have supporting evidence to back it up. Supporting evidence that you have already put brackets around, in fact. This claim is also arguable. Someone could say that freedom of thought did not spur the desire for freedom from slavery, and they may be able to find evidence to support that. I would say that yes, his reasoning is valid, and that no, Douglas does not have any false or fallacious reasoning in this particular claim. So now I want you to go ahead and copy this first row and then go back and work with the other two claims and supporting evidence that you found to complete the second row and the third row. I'm going to give you about 4 minutes to complete the remaining 2 rows. So claims, if you'll remember, are supported by supporting evidence from the text. Just as claims are supported by supporting evidence from the text, the central idea is supported by claims. In fact, we can look at claims to sometimes build and construct the central idea that the author intends in the passage. So I want you to follow the directions on the slide. We're going to discuss the following. Based on the claims in the text, what is the central idea that the author is trying to convey? We have our 3 claims on the screen. Freedom from thought spurred the desire for freedom from slavery. Humans have an innate desire to learn that cannot be stopped. And the slaveholders' view of and treatment of slaves is depraved. What do these 3 claims have in common? Is there a topic that connects all of the claims? How would you summarize these claims? So now, let's discuss. So we kind of put together the idea that the central idea is that knowledge and learning is important for people to have access to, and it is wrong to deny anyone this access. Except there's a mistake there. Can anybody spot the mistake in that statement? The verb needs to be are for the subject and verb to agree, because we have a compound subject, so it actually needs to read, knowledge and learning are important for people to have access to, and it is wrong to deny anyone this access. Now, if you've not already done so, I'm going to give you a few minutes, or actually about 30 seconds, to get this central idea typed onto your copy of Chapter 7. We're going to discuss a little bit more. I want you to look at the questions on the screen. How does the author use specific words, sentences, or paragraphs to develop a claim? How do these claims develop the central idea? And how valid is the author's reasoning? I'm going to give you a few minutes to jot down some notes in response to those questions. I would open up a blank Google Doc and just kind of jot down some notes. And then we're going to participate in the whole class discussion about these questions using the conversation stems from the reading protocol handout. Remember that not all of the claims are stated explicitly in the text. So now let's discuss. And now for homework. Hopefully you took the opportunity to copy down the central idea of the passage, because you're going to need that for homework. Because you're going to update the central idea and theme tracker to include the Douglass text. In other words, narrative of the life of Frederick Douglass, an American slave. Because of that, you will need your passage, Narrative of the Life of Frederick Douglass, an American Slave by Frederick Douglass. You will also need your central idea and theme tracker. Congratulations! We have now completed Lesson 5. In this lesson, you learned that Douglass develops claims through strong word choice, description, and vivid imagery. You also analyzed how an author develops a claim, and you assessed the validity of the author's reasoning in support of that claim.